After diving headfirst into the cesspool that is the Nice Guys subreddit, hand in hand with the devil himself, looking at the poo that is on there, I figured it is fitting to travel deep inside the cave of delusion, so deep that we've ended up in the icy depths of the den of delusion, as we embark upon an adventure and head our lovely selves into the cesspool that is Nice Girls. Now, as you can see, it's actually been requested that we embark upon this adventure, but I already had plans to do so because I'm a masochist and I want to apparently torture myself and my ears, my eyes, my nose, because the amount of disgusting things that we're going to be smelling in this one is off the charts, baby. So I already wanted to do this, but knowing that people want to see this, it's just more incentive to lace up the boots, to get Minuscule Circle out of bed, give him a little spank on the booty. Wake up! We have an adventure! And that's what this adventure is. So strap yourselves in, of course, and much like the Nice Guys subreddit, I must preface this video with there is adult themes and things that may or may not require a trigger warning depending on your tolerance levels. But here is a trigger warning for the rest of the video. Now, this first one is just testing the waters. You know, you're not dipping your toes in. My flesh is burned. It's none of that. I mean, in comparison to some of the absolute nonsense we're going to be looking at for the rest of the video, this one's a bit tame, you know? We gotta start off slow, baby. You don't just rush into things. Come on now. Gosh. That would be not good. So for context, the original poster says this. This came about from me mentioning it, thinking of going back to school. She is a middle school teacher. Currently, I'm a lead in a warehouse. With all due respect, you might need to go back to school, because I don't think that sentence made much sense, at least to me. And it's hypocritical, because I can barely speak English half the time. But yeah, I don't really think that makes sense. But now, we get into the message, and see why this individual is a bit hurt, in the sense that they're posting this on the Nice Girls subreddit. Haha, I don't think people, or I don't think ears are most people's thing, lol. I'm just looking for a partner that is established in their career. Let's actually go back to the school, because I need to learn about the ear fetish that is seemingly being spoken about here. What an interesting thing to like, I wouldn't even like full-blown say it's a fetish. Liking ears is more like a fet-ish. Okay, now there's multiple ways I think you can take this. And when I say multiple, maybe there's only two, and I've just used multiple in the wrong way. There's the way you can take it in the sense that I think this person has taken it, where her being a teacher and him working in a warehouse, maybe he's misconstrued her message as she wants someone who is established, and working in a warehouse doesn't mean he's established. Or you could take this in a way where she wants someone who is established, and him mentioning going to school is that way of becoming established. I'm a bit confused, because through texting, I don't feel like you can really gather sometimes what someone means. Now, of course, if she is like spitting on him because he works in a warehouse, that's just wrong. Get a grip of yourself, okay? But if this is a case where she is just wanting someone who is stable in their career and whatnot, I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, I think maybe there's too much vilification of people wanting a financially stable partner, because I feel like that's a good thing to want. Obviously, there's the extremes of a gold digger, and I mean, look, we're in the den of dating right now. There is no gold in this bad boy. There's just a bunch of cold-hearted nonsense. But let me know your thoughts. I don't think it's a bad thing to want someone who is financially stable, because it should be something that you want in the other person for themselves anyway, just as you should want to be financially stable and, well, not leech off of other people. Do you know what I mean? But if this is the case, again, of her looking down on him because he works in a warehouse and wants to go back to school to maybe pursue something else career-wise, well, then get a grip of yourself. Just because we're in this icy cave, yeah, doesn't mean you can't get a grip just because it's so cold to touch. Okay, maybe I've spent too long on this one, and that's a bad sign for the rest of this video, because I have many things to look at.
Oh, God! No, God, please, no!
Now, the next one, we're still testing the waters, and I've forgotten before I transitioned into this part. Did I mention we're gonna now get into, like, the more serious stuff? If I did, forgive me, because we're still testing the waters. Now, this person asks, would this woman qualify as a nice girl or something else? By the way, it might be really late into the video to describe what a nice girl is, but it's similar to a nice guy in the sense that they claim they're nice, but they're not actually nice. So, great stuff to mention that like 5 minutes into the video. Now, with that question being asked, here is what they are referring to. No filter, almost too honest with the wrong too. Everyone else lies mostly, so they run from the truth. I prefer the company of dogs way more than any humans. I'd also save a dog's life or any animal over humans any day. They're looking for chatting, friendship, something casual. The location, for some reason, has descended into what I can only presume is the devil's way of typing. 5 feet, never smoked, doesn't have kids, see more about the devil's frickin' writing again. I'm not really sure what this individual is looking for in terms of dating, but I guess they've mentioned something casual. So, you know, all power to you. If you're open about looking for something casual, then that's good. You're not leading people along. But I question why you are doing this if you seem to have such a disdain for human beings. Like, look, don't get me wrong. Do I think animals are better than most people? Yeah, sure. Animals, for the most part, are innocent. You know, they're not going to have bad intentions and stuff. And maybe I'll retract most people and just say some people, because there's a lot of good people in the world, of course. But, like, you seem very angry. And maybe dating isn't for you, even if it is something casual. Because you seem quite perturbed, is the word I'd use. But also, spelling matters. Almost two. You need to slap another O onto that. Thank you very much. By the way, this is maybe getting the train of thought derailed, yeah? When people say no filter, almost too honest, a lot of the time, they misconstrue that as an excuse for them to be very, very hurtful to people. And then just say, oh, I'm just being honest. Yeah, but chill out a bit. There's a way to say things, and there's a time and a place to say things. So, I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in, because I've seen some people use that a lot as an excuse, so just chill yourself out. Okay, now the next one is a checklist of 20 items. Okay, now I'm going to read them, and if I have something to say, I'm going to stop and tell you. Bare minimum. Okay, so when we say bare minimum, you know, are we talking about things like respect and consideration about feelings? Well, loves me more. Okay, I'm going to stop just immediately there, because I've never quite understood when people say, oh, my partner must love me more. I feel like it should be both of you on one hand, you're both giving 50-50 to the relationship in terms of it becomes 100%. However, on the other hand, you both should be giving 100% of your love to the other person. Nobody should be loving the other person more, because then that creates a dynamic of someone will feel like they're being taken advantage of. Because, hey, I've given you more than you've given me. Get a grip of yourselves. 200k plus salary. I love how that's the second option, right? If anyone knows of a job that I can get that has 200k plus salary, I'm begging you, send it my way. Generous, okay, like the finer things. What does that even mean? Like, you want someone who, I understand, obviously, you want someone who likes the finer things. But what if someone doesn't like the finer things? Do you just hate them because of that? And what are the finer things? Like nice restaurants and I don't bloody know even.
What did that just mean?
Emotionally intelligent is an interesting one from this individual. Chivalrous, fun. My friends and family love them. And I think I said fens because apparently I've just got fiend in my head right now. And that's more so because I have a figure of Bray Wyatt as the fiend over here on my desk. You didn't ask. I want to add the caveat that just because your friends and family don't like your partner, that doesn't mean that you also should not like your partner. I know in some cases, obviously your friends and family potentially are seeing red flags that you are not seeing, but it's not their relationship, and you have to realize yourself if there are red flags, because sometimes they don't actually see red flags and they're seeing it from their point of view, which is not always correct. Does that make sense? Timely sticks to everything he says. She wants glue, apparently. Confident, sexually disciplined, want to level up, support my career. Okay, I mean, I stopped it there because I do feel like that's a good thing to have a partner who is pushing you in terms of your ambitions and stuff. That's cool. You want to see, the both of you living the high life and stuff. But there's a caveat there in that, would you do the same for them? Because if this is a one-sided thing, then there's no point. Not a mama's boy. Okay, we'll stop there again. I mean, I probably consider myself a mama's boy in the sense that I would do whatever for my mum, respect her, cherish her, etc., etc. But I know that some relationships between son and mother potentially go a bit too over the top, and it interferes in the romantic relationship with their partner. So I do understand, but I guess here there's a caveat of there's levels that we need to be understanding. But cool. Taller than me? Well, how tall are you? Smart, kind, tries hard, fight for me. That's interesting. Tries hard in what sense? I mean, it's good if you have someone trying hard for their career or something. I don't bloody know. But tries hard leading on into fight for me. I don't know, this type of person, what we've read so far, gives me the vibe that they're gonna be a bit difficult to be with, but you have to fight for them. And I don't think that's the case in a relationship. Yes, of course, sometimes your partner is difficult, and sure, sometimes you argue and whatnot. Sure. I don't know why I've just done that, by the way. It's getting annoying, because my jumper keeps sticking to these things. You didn't ask once again. But don't, for the sake of it, be difficult and assume your partner just has to sort of sweep it all under the rug and fight for you. If you're being difficult and over the top, have the emotional intelligence that you seemingly want from your partner and recognize that you're just being difficult for the sake of it, okay? Wants to protect me even if we're divorced, like a real class, honorable person.
What the hell are you talking about?
I think maybe you watch too many of those shitty Hallmark movies, because more often than not, and maybe I can't say that because maybe it happens more often than not, I don't know. But I feel like once you're divorced, you've made that decision and you should go separate ways, because the emotional intelligence aspect again. If you're expecting your partner after a divorce to be there for you, just as they would if you were together, my goodness, you need to get a grip of yourself. And what you seemingly want here is the gold digging aspect we were talking about earlier. You just want someone to take care of you. Okay, get a grip. Editing H here. I've made it out of the den of delusion / dating since I said two different things, apparently. and I say I said it. It was Adventurer H. It's a different person. Definitely not me. I did want to point out that obviously there are relationships that do end, marriages that end up in divorce, where people are mutually, still looking out for each other in the friend sense. They still look out for each other because it didn't end badly. It didn't end sour, I guess, so to speak. However, I don't feel like that's what this person means. And dare I say, it's very interesting that one of their points is talking about divorce when you haven't even begun a relationship. One of your factors that you want, the bare minimum, before even starting the relationship, before even getting to know the person, what you're looking for, and you're already speaking about divorce? What? That means you're going into it, if, for example, you do find someone that meets all 20, you're going into the relationship already assuming, if it ends in divorce, look out for me. That's not healthy, is it? If you go into a relationship thinking, it's going to end, you have insecurities potentially that you need to work on before you even think about dating. But that is Editing H's opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, I saw a comment under this thread, by the way, on Reddit saying, Point 20 really takes the cake. This can't be real. Now, I must preface a lot of this and many other videos where we've looked at Reddit stuff, if they're real, a lot of things are like, is this person trolling? Which in itself, you have a sad life. Okay, if you think this is funny and you get your jollies off doing this, you have a sad life. But if this is genuinely real, of course, it's concerning. And if it's not real and people just do this to, again, get their jollies off, that is also concerning. Now this next one, there's a dog involved. Woof!
Calm yourself, boy. You are acting hysterical.
I turned into a rabid dog. Apparently, what was that dog? Cujo or something? I only know of that from Friends. But, just as Joey doesn't share food, I'm gonna share with you this. That didn't even make sense. Again, we're still testing the waters. Nothing freaking wild too much yet. But let me know your thoughts on this. Hey, my sister's got a Bernese mountain dog. You should have used a picture with him, lol. I don't need to show a picture of her, okay? It's literally confidential. I can literally say it on my bio, but doesn't mean anything, okay? Don't need to be rude. Are you good, like? Just saying, I would have loved to see him. I'm a dog lover. Are you good? Lol. The use of lol. I don't know if like, I'm just like, being a fuddy-duddy or whatever, yeah? What is funny about any of this, by the way? Like, lol, just say what you mean, man. Lol is used to, like, sort of diminish or minimize you seeming angry or something. Like, just say what you mean. What's lol about any of this, right? Now, for context, the original poster did say this is a risky first message. I don't know. Like, if you just wanted to see a picture of a dog, wouldn't you just start the conversation and then once you go down the line, you can ask to see a picture of a dog? Don't really know why you would say, I get it. Haha, is a joke of some sort. But like the reaction is a bit maybe too much. And then when she says it's literally confidential. Your dog's picture is confidential, is it? I don't know what kind of MI5 nonsense you're dealing with, but if that dog is a secret spy, you've done well to protect their identity. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Again, nothing too crazy here, but like, just strange reaction. And to be honest, the opening message, they clarified it was risky, the original poster, but like, if it's risky, don't say it, I guess. You know, we're not dealing with someone in person. And I guess that goes back to what I was saying. Sometimes you can't tell what a person's like tone is through text. I know for myself, for example, I'm very sarcastic. That comes across on camera. But in the comment section, I can probably see why some people don't understand I'm being sarcastic, because like it's hard to tell sometimes through text. So if you've got a risky opening line, yeah, just chill out and just not be risky, I guess. Now this next one is realistically how you should handle someone who just gives you the ick. And I hate that word, but it fits here, okay? So anyway, how about we share our travel stories and get to know each other over some dinner or drinks sometime soon? I usually only date Eastern European men because they're more assertive. I would never answer a yes to sometime soon. Wishing you the best of luck with your dating goals in 2026. Just simple as that, okay? If you see something you don't like, just say, hey, look, I wish you the best and keep it moving. Don't be like some of the nice guys we looked at before who get really angry that they've been rejected and start resorting to all sorts of slurs and just weaponizing self-harm, right? You chill the hell out right now. And you just do this. Just wish you the best, man. Just take care, innit? Which, let's get into this, by the way. I usually only date Eastern European men because they're more assertive. I would never answer a yes to sometime soon. God forbid someone says sometime soon, huh? God forbid someone wants to first see if you have the schedule to even meet up sometime soon. They should just force upon you, no, this day only. What are we doing here? And also, the fact that you've said you only go for Eastern Europeans, you know, that's your preference, whatever, right? But then you've attached assertiveness to Eastern Europeans. Are you saying all Eastern European men are assertive? Look, I don't like to speak in absolutes, but I can guarantee someone out there is Eastern European who is not assertive. And they would also say sometime soon. So what then? What do you do then? You're in a bit of a kerfuffle then, because they're Eastern European, but not assertive. What do you do? God. I mean, you could argue this woman wanting someone assertive is again a preference. But...
I'm sorry. I can't handle this.
Basically, like I said in the Nice Guys video, yeah? Or maybe it wasn't that video, maybe it was another video. I can't really remember. But there's a way to say that you are not interested in someone, you know, without resorting to, like, childish insults and stuff. You're not assertive. Get a grip. Now, this conversation opens up with the oh-so-interesting black heart emoji. Just off the bat, yeah? Just... Can we approach conversations with more than just emojis? Because that's just so lackluster, right? It doesn't give me the vibe that you're making an effort here. Do you know what I mean? But whatever. How are you today? I'm good, and you? Chilling. I spent most of the day lazy in bed. Lol. Now I'm up cleaning a bit, the usual. Lol. Nice, with so many E's. I'm lazy right now. Bleh. I want a drink. Hate being brokey. Send me some beer. With the sad face and laughing emojis. No, you send me beer. Lol, I'm broke too. Signed up for plasma donation today. K, what a gentleman. Bye. You know, I think I've lost IQ points. I didn't have much to begin with, and if someone shoved a camera in my head, right next to my brain, you would see my 2 last brain cells doing a little jiggy. Okay, they're just slapping each other across the face and stuff. They're gone now. I've lost them reading this conversation. I'm lazy right now, Blair, I want a drink. Hate being brokey. I question the fact that you want a beer because you seem like a childish individual, okay? Blair, I want a drink. What is the dating pool, bro? And we've got more people saying lol when nothing is funny, by the way. Just chill out. I know it might seem like I'm losing my shit here. I just hate it. Get a grip. Gosh. Also, you hate being broke, but the other person is also broke, and then you've just said, well, I'm out of here then. So what are you looking for exactly? Because it doesn't scream that you're looking for a relationship, and more so you're looking for someone to fund your life. What is happening here? Now this next one, if in any point it's crucial, this woman is 50 years old, so I don't know if that is, necessary to what we're going to say, but maybe it's context. No relationships, no commitment, no exclusiveness. At this point in life, men are for recreational purposes only, not just anyone. I'm selective. I will not travel to a man for the first meet, if you even get that far. I do not date outside my race, period. Grown adults don't have Snapchat. Ask me for a Snap handle and you're blocked. Gamer, cut! Mention the gym, cut! The it is what it is / laid back / easygoing quote, cut! Someone cut this portion of the video out of my brain, because what exactly do you want from life then?
Mr. Krabs, I am so confused.
You saying that you don't want someone who's laid back and easygoing, but you just want casual, recreational sex, basically. What? Like, nothing even makes sense here. Like, what? If you want someone, right? You've described men as being for recreational purposes. So then what the hell are you trying to be with someone for? Because that takes commitment then. No? Like, if you want to be with a man, you've described them as recreational. You want to make babies. I think making babies is a big commitment, is it not? So, I'm really confused on what you want! Now, the not dating outside of your race thing. As I always say, there's a preference, okay? I'm glad this person didn't, descend into any sort of racism, which the next one we will look at touches on the whole aspect of preference, and at what point does it become just racist? But when you say, if you even get that far, very up your own arse you are, aren't you? You'd be lucky to even get past the freaking first stage of talking with me. You'd be lucky to even get anyone speaking to you in general, is my stance on this thing. And now, let's head into the racist preference nonsense that I am in no doubt is going to trigger some people on this channel, because for some reason they just can't comprehend the difference between having a preference and being racist. And these individuals, by the way, they don't see anything wrong with what Jody in the catfish videos was saying. So just, you've got this sort of person in your mind, their personality and stuff. Established entrepreneur in, some location, seeking a like-minded individual for meaningful connections and adventures with a passion for exploring new destinations. Please don't send me a picture with your shirt off. That's just tacky AF. Okay. You've got me in the first half. That's okay. Like, cool. You've not said anything crazy there, right? I come from money and class, and I'm looking for someone on my same level. Okay. So you want, again, a preference thing. You want someone who has the same amount of money as you and whatnot, and You know, if you want to argue this is flexing a little bit, sorry, you're more classy than me. And then it gets worse. No black guys, unless you're a professional athlete. Sorry, just isn't my thing. No drugs either. Drugs are for losers. So when you say you don't want any black guys, only those who are athletes, why is that? Is this a dirty case of fetishizing being with a black man who is an athlete? So if a black man is not an athlete, why don't you want to be with them? Do you know what I mean? I assume when you mention athlete, by the way, you're talking about the athletes that bring in a lot of money. Some might argue I'm just presuming here. I'm just shoving words in this person's mouth. But it doesn't scream as someone who just has a preference. But that could be just me. Let me know your comments, of course. This next one is so interesting, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. This person has, I guess, paid the person 50 cents, by the way. Are we going to the candy shop here? No, nothing is sweet about this. Thank you for letting me go. I found the love of my life because of you. A man that puts you to shame. Embarrassing, really. I won't message you again. I just truly wanted to thank you. Look, if anyone wants to pay me for not being in your life, I'll take it, okay? And then once again, you don't fill me with confidence that you've moved on from this individual if you have to message something like this. A man that puts you to shame. Embarrassing, really. Why are you messaging this in the first place? Like, is this some sort of like humiliation ritual where you're trying to make the other person you're messaging feel upset that you've moved on or something? Just move on in silence, bro. Or pay me, because I wouldn't mind that. Now, this next one is a bit of a flowing conversation. We've got 3 screenshots here. Don't say I don't spoil you. Beautiful with heart eye emoji. Hey cutie, what you doing, boo? I'm playing my game and relaxing. What about you? Being cute and shy with an unnecessary amount of emojis, in my opinion. You're already cute to me. You single? Because you are my crush with so many emojis again. Yes, I am single. Good because you're mine. Am I now? Can we just, once again, this screams childish to me. Does it not? Like Disney Channel, just, yeah, I love this. It's so great. Look, I'm spamming emojis because it's cute and whatnot. Get a grip. And when someone asks you, like, what you're doing, yeah, and your response is being cute and shy, are you an adult? Like, how is that a response? Huh? Imagine going to a job interview and they say, what did you do at your last job? No, I just sat there being cute and shy. I don't think you're getting the job. Do you know what I mean? It's just cringe, in my opinion. And then obviously the conversation follows. Am I now? Yes. But you just meant me.
But point taken.
Bye. I was joking, lol. It don't matter. Bye. I'm so confused. Leave me alone. Delete my number right now. I'm not effing playing with you. I'm not effing playing with you, with an emoji that looks like me for some reason. And then, if in case you thought, wow, this sounds so intellectual, 2 people having such a meaningful conversation. Obviously, it gets worse. You mad sketchy for just freaking over some dumb shit. I said, but okay. Oh, I'm sorry for being mean. Con here, cutie. What was that? I'm sorry for being mean. Was that bipolar? Yes. You ask too many questions, you pervert. Yeah, hell nah, I'm dipping. Good. Go away, how? Ho.
What the f*** is going on in here on this day?
Okay, if before I had no brain cells left and my IQ was at 0. I think we're now in the minuses. What was that conversation? I'm sorry, but I can't fathom speaking to someone like this and going ahead with a relationship with them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. I don't know, like, I feel like I'd just turn into a stupid mush by week 3 or something like that. And maybe I'm giving too much credit, and maybe day 3, actually, I'd be a stupid mush. What are the things that these people are saying? Also, you're mine now. I forgot to touch on that. That's not romantic. That's actually kind of creepy. Don't go around telling people you're mine now. Goodness me, get a grip of yourself. So let me know your thoughts on that. Did you enjoy that conversation? Well, this next conversation you're not going to enjoy, because apparently not only are there people who are racist in the nice girls section, there is also homophobia. Hey, it's been a while. I was wondering if you wanted to go out for some drinks tomorrow. Hey, I've enjoyed our time together, but I've started dating this guy. I hope you find what you're looking for. Best of luck. Wow, WTF. I thought we had something and you ditched me for some guy. Clearly I dodged a bullet. You don't know what you're missing. We haven't spoken 2 months and you expect me to wait around for a girl that I've been on 3 dates with? I know exactly what I'm missing and it's nothing special. Okay, derogatory term. Enjoy sucking off a bloke, you derogatory term. It doesn't kill to be kind. Now, in case you needed context for this, the original poster says, I matched with this girl on Hinge like 3 months ago. We went on a few dates, had a good time, but we kind of just stopped talking to each other. I got the vibe it just wasn't going to work out between us. And then I received these lovely messages. She was also into the fact I'm bisexual, a bit weird, I don't know, but apparently she's okay with being homophobic when me being bi doesn't suit her. I actually see this a lot, where people hate another person for whatever characteristic of theirs, but then fetishize it in the same vein. I don't understand you as a human being, okay? You are very intriguing, and I'm playing it fast and loose with the term intriguing. You need to get a grip of yourself. Now, for even more context, that last message, it doesn't hurt to be kind or something along those lines, because I've just forgotten it in the 5 seconds since I've read it. It's in quotations because my last message was me quoting her Instagram bio, by the way. I meant to add that in the post, but forgot. I love people who say, be kind to people, blah, blah, blah. And then they just live a different life, and they're just actually, like, very much using slurs and just hating on people. What are you doing? Now, this next one would really piss off the woman from before who was 50 years old saying, Cut it out! You need a sponsorship for some type of scissors. She would really get pissed off with this because we're on Snapchat. Okay, but first, some context. Matched with a girl on a dating app 5 months ago. We never really talked beyond me trying to set up a date every couple weeks, which was always met with her being too busy with work or studying. I didn't mind at first. I work a lot too, so I suggested a quick 10-minute call just to see if we vibed, but she said her time was too valuable. I stayed patient, kept living my life, working long hours and traveling, and still made the effort. When we finally set a date, she cancelled last minute to take a work shift and couldn't suggest another day. At that point, I told her I respect her priorities, but after 5 months on a dating app, I'm looking to actually meet, not talk indefinitely. The screenshot is the last of the convo. Now immediately that screams catfish, at least to me. We cover a lot of catfishing on this channel. If someone doesn't want to meet after maybe even the first few weeks, you have to question what's actually going on here. Now, I completely understand. People are busy. People do have things to do. And I guess, look, you have to make time for someone that you're interested in, right? So if you're talking for 5 months, I'm led to believe you should be somewhat interested in someone. But when you don't meet up repeatedly and you don't make the effort of even rescheduling because of something that's popped up and you need to do it, whatever, the disrespect is wild, in my opinion. Now, the conversation goes like this. You really want to meet me badly? Pay for my shift. Otherwise, I'm not freeing my schedule to see you. My school comes first. This is the end of this conversation. And if you don't want to respect my priorities, please do me a favor and block me. I don't pay for access. Dating is based on mutual effort and respect. You shouldn't be on a dating app if you can't find 10 minutes for a call after 5 months. That's fine with me. Goodbye. It very much is confusing why you're on a dating app if you're not even willing to have a phone call with someone who you're trying to pursue a relationship with. It just doesn't make sense to me, okay? By all means, have your priorities, but then also have the decency to actually schedule at some point a meeting with the other person, or at the very least, a short conversation on the phone. Now, don't get me wrong, look, it's her job. She has her priorities. That's entirely okay. But why are you on the dating app then? You're just wasting people's time, no? Like, getting someone to try and pay for your shift is just ridiculous. But let me know your thoughts. Now, this next one, I need you guys to maybe pause it during the conversation and tell me what you think has gone wrong for the woman to get upset here, okay? Hello, I'm blah 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 from Facebook. You gave me your number last night. LOL! Can I just... Nothing is funny. Stop saying LOL. Oh yes, hi. Hello? Okay, I don't have time for fun and games. I don't know what you mean by that. We literally just started texting. Let me know your thoughts on what's happened here that the woman has become upset about this. I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have said it by now. No cheating. Here you see 4 or 8:46 is the message, right? Then 8:57 she replies, but then by 9:06 she didn't get a reply. She doesn't have time for fun and games. Oh my god, so in, 9 minutes, you have revealed yourself to be a player, and nobody's got time for that with your fun and games. Get the hell out of here. By that logic, by the way, 8:46, this person messaged you. 8:57, what is that? That's 11 minutes, no? You actually did worse. So you could argue you are playing fun and games here. By the way, I just need to stress this. If you are clingy to the point where you are essentially hounding someone to reply to you instantly, with all due respect, I don't think you should be in a relationship, because that takes away the individuality of your partner. And I bang on about, 2 people in a relationship should still be individuals, because you need to have a separate life to the relationship. Otherwise, you're very unhealthily absorbed into the relationship. And I just don't think that's a healthy way to navigate life, because you need your individuality. If you are forcing people to reply in a certain amount of time, please get a grip of yourself, okay? And I always say this, let me know your thoughts. I've said it before, and, some people have mentioned it doesn't really exist. But I like to say that your partner should be healthily obsessed with you, in the sense that they would do anything for you within reason, of course. Let's have some sort of, caveats and whatnot. And although they would do anything for you, and they're all about you, they are still an individual as well. Does that make sense? But in this regard, I feel like this person would not be a nice person to be with. I feel like it would spiral into some very toxic behavior. So, for the best, you get out of there. Now, the top comment on that we just looked at is as follows. Men need to have higher standards. The second this happens, just disengage completely. There are millions of kind, genuine, and interesting, I assume, women out there who don't act like petulant children, but it's a vicious cycle from men not holding standards because they want a relationship or to get laid, then women getting a pass on acting like this, and the wilder things you see on this sub. Then it becomes more prevalent because they get away with it. Have standards, hold them, and encourage your buddies to do the same. You don't need to say anything back. Just move on. Go talk to someone better. I mean, I agree. Okay. And it goes both ways. Women as well should also have higher standards. We see a lot of catfishing stories, for example, or romance scam stories, where the romance scam victim has just fallen in love for literally the most minuscule of reasons, right? Oh, yeah, my online fake lover loves to go to the beach. I now want to marry them. You know what I mean? So please have standards, okay? It's not a bad thing to have standards. But then also call out shitty behavior, in my opinion, okay? Just as this person mentions men, you know, calling out petulant children-like behavior. In the Nice Guys video I mentioned, if you are with someone who, for example, calls women bitches, I understand this is your partner, right? But you need to call them out for that because they shouldn't be calling women bitches. It's so degrading. So it goes both ways. You know, people should be calling things out. Look, you might seem like, what's the word I'm looking for here? You might seem too woke, as I sometimes am labeled by some people, for calling out things that are deemed small, right? Doesn't matter. Just call it out, okay? And have standards, especially for your friends. Just because they are your friends, just because they are your partner, for example. If they do something that's derogatory, XYZ, call them out. Now, this next one is another one involving money and something that I've just never seen before. Emily's opening move. What's something I wouldn't know from your profile? I can make an good pasta. And then this conversation has a $5 cover. Pay me on Cash App. What's happened there? Like, I have to assume this is a scammer. Or Emily got so disgusted by your very shit grammar that she said, you have to pay me to have a conversation with you because I'm not subjecting myself to torture for free. I can make an good pasta, bro. Why are so many of these lacking proper grammar, lacking punctuation? It's like there's just no brains in the dating pool, apparently. It's just full of derogatory pieces of shit and people with no brains. What are we doing here? Now, this next one is 6 screenshots. Okay, that's a lot of me just unbearably drilling my voice into your ear. So please bear with me. And for context, if in case it's needed really here, I don't think it changes too much. But the two people speaking are both women. But I don't really think it changes anything. So let's go, right? Hey, this is blah, blah, blah from Tinder. Yes, it is. Is this blah, blah, blah? Yes, it is. How are you? I'm good. I'm currently working on a painting. What? Oh, no way. I love making art. Wow. What are you painting? Okay, so nothing, too crazy so far. But then, maybe there are some concerns here which I found interesting, and the comments in the thread discussed it a bit as well. So let's talk about this, right? So the person's painting their cat. Oh, that's so cute. We should totally paint together sometime. Oh yeah, that sounds lovely. I'm busy most of this week, but we can schedule around it. Yeah, how does this weekend sound? So you're thinking, okay, that's great, sure, that works for me. We can get a coffee, and then we can come back to my apartment. I have all the supplies we could need. I'm a bit of an art nerd. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that's really creepy that you would say that to me. Like, I don't even know why you are asking me over to yours. Like, we all effing know what you want, talking about some supplies, stupid shit, like, leave me alone. You actual incel, you're effing disgusting. Please don't message me again. The interesting, I guess, conversation here is that who is in the right here? Because I believe that the person inviting the other person back to paint, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, right? I mean, I get it, because in the first sort of meeting, you're coming back to your home, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. I can see the little bit of creepiness in there. But the context is to paint. But I do see it in a creepy way. Like, I do see why people would think that's creepy. But the reaction is maybe a bit too much. Now, it gets worse, obviously, because we're currently on the third screenshot. So the person's reaction, it gets a lot worse. But before we move on, I do also want to say that, going back to it being a little bit creepy, you know, you could paint at somewhere local, right? Or at least you would search anyway to see if there's anything local to you, like a painting class or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I do see why it is a bit creepy to just be invited back to someone's home for the first date, essentially. Maybe you can strip away the context, because it is still, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. But the reaction, I don't know, it's too much maybe. Hello, with so many question marks. Genuinely, what did I do? You're the one that was suggesting the date, but okay. You clearly have some issues that I'm not the cause of. So I'm going to leave this here. Hope you get better. Have a good one. What the fuck are you tlacking about? How I get better, like you're the one with mental issues. You probably like kids. Like, you're such a sleditor, creeping on my and trying to get me in your house. Like, I know what you're up to. I'm not stupid. With some sort of meme emoji there. Effing asshole. Like, please don't ever text my phone again. You're actually effing disgusting. The other person just puts a thumbs up. F off. The other person just puts a thumbs up. Okay, I'm sorry for freaking out on you like that. I'm just having a bad day, okay? I'm having a really bad split right now. And that just set me off the edge, okay? The person just says, okay. And then the next day, I presume, because it says today there, stupid bitch, don't message me ever again. I effing hate you. And you had big ears anyway, thinking you could get with me. I already have 10 different girls in my DMs, so don't message me again, because I'm moving on. If your family was any more inbred, you'd be a sandwich. Like, you're down weird, lol. Are you bipolar or something? LMAO, alright, bro. You know, actually, I feel like too many people, it seems, are just throwing around the word bipolar as some sort of, like minuscule insult. Are you bipolar or something? Like, I don't appreciate, I guess, you know, people just chucking around mental health issues as some sort of joke. This person said they're having a bad split. I don't know if that means that they do have a mental health struggle that they deal with, but the reaction is wild. Like, calling someone a sleditor is wild, right? Resorting to childish insults, like if your family was any more inbred, you'd be a sandwich. Get a grip of yourself. And then we saw it in the Nice Guys video, where when people get, I guess, rejected, they just resort to all sorts of insults. You had big ears anyway, thinking you could get with me. Wasn't you talking to them in the beginning as well? Like, so you don't find them attractive, it seems, but you were just talking with them anyway. Like, get a grip, in the sense that you're just wasting everyone's time then, no? Very much, look, I understand. It might be a bit of a creepy opening to just invite someone back to your house, but then the context of painting is there. But I believe the reaction here, you just need to chill out a bit. Do you know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts, of course. Now, this one is... The context is that it's the fastest unmatch ever, right? Matched at 1:45, got off work at 2, then unmatched at 2:45. So, you're wondering, what's happened here? Because that's a shitting quick time, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I'm just getting off of work. Apologies for the delay. How's your day going? It's okay. I'm about to head to work in a little bit. I hope you have a great shift. Oh wow, just noticed you're local. That never happens. I know, I noticed that too. I'm sorry, I was trying to be nice and have a conversation with you, but it seems like you are not interested. Have a good night. What? How do you figure? Lol. By the way, have a good night being said at 2:45 p.m. Surely that's just crazy. But the comment section was talking about this potentially being a catfish, and the fact that you are local to them means that, you know, they're never really going to meet you, so they got to cut this off now because they're a catfish. So let me know your thoughts on that. I don't see anything wrong here. I don't see how this person would be deemed as not being interested. But let me know your thoughts. Now, this next one is an interesting one in the sense that it backfires on the original poster. PSA, if you're not willing to routinely make a 3-hour drive one way, you are low effort, just so everyone here knows. So you can see there that they've been called low effort and they've come to Nice Girls to post about it. But look, hear me out, right? This person messages with a crying emoji, which I've said earlier on. Actually, ironically, let's put a little bit more effort into conversations, please, rather than just emojis. Question mark, the woman replies with, there's a 3-hour drive between us. Kinda sad that seems like it's a big deal. There are people in long-distance relationships in different time zones. Just tells me you're low effort before I even meet you. Lol. You know, by the end of this video, lol is gonna be ingrained in my brain, and when I go to sleep, I'm just gonna have nightmares of lol and emojis. Look, it might be a sad thing. You might be very well attracted to this person, but they are 3 hours drive away. So that makes you upset because you wish it would be a shorter distance. Okay. But messaging the other person with, oh, we're so far away from each other. Like, what's your intention here then? Like, why are you messaging this person to say that? Right? Is it just me? Let me know your thoughts on that. If you're not willing to make that journey, don't message the person. Maybe that's a shocking concept or something. I don't know, but what was your aim by messaging this person who you obviously seem to think is very far away from you? What did you think was going to happen? They would move down towards you or something? Or are you looking for maybe just a one-night stand or something? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, because I'm just freaking confused. And I don't think it gets any more confusing than this particular one. I'm really glad I met you, name. Take care of yourself as well. You remind me of my abusive and violent white ex, by the way. God will remember you refused to buy me Monostrat the same way I will. We will not forget how you have mistreated women. You have decades to work on your hatred toward women. And then what seems to be like the next day, am I blocked? I should have spat on you at whatever that is. And then the person just... Those are the strangest looking emojis I've ever seen. But what's happened here? First of all, what has the person done for you to weaponize the fact that you've had an abusive ex in the past? And why have you mentioned they were white, by the way? I don't know if the person you're speaking to is white, and maybe you think white in this context is an insult, so you've just chucked white in there for some reason. What's with all the racial dynamics in a lot of these? Please, someone answer me. I mean, God will remember you refused to buy me Monostat. Listen, I don't know if you've actually met this person or if it was just, you know, you've been on one date or something. I don't know. Is it someone's obligation to buy you yeast infection medication? What are we doing here, man? God, I'm bringing God into it as well. That's sure. Weaponize God as well. You seem very toxic. Okay. Look, I'm really sorry if you did in fact have an abusive and violent ex-partner. But that doesn't give you the right to then weaponize it and, you know, just sling insults at someone and tell you that they remind you of them and whatnot. Why? Because you didn't get medication? I don't understand, man. Again, let me know your thoughts, as always. And then lastly, swallow the saliva. Listen, this is an interesting one in that we started the video, I think, mentioning gold diggers. And we, I guess, could potentially be ending with a gold digger. Let me know your thoughts. Just moved to whatever that is. And for some reason they're shouting here. I'm all about the Benjamins. If you aren't there to give it, then do not hit me up. I'm a one-man type of woman and I'm in search for the right one. Not here to get to know you or small talk until I handle what I need to. I shoot my number right off the bat. Or is it I shoot my shot? I don't really know. My dad gave me whatever I wanted without question, so I expect the same energy. If you can't do that, then another man will. I'm verified, so I don't want to hear none of that "are you real" bullshit. I don't know how dating apps work. Because, I mean, on Instagram, just because you're verified doesn't actually even mean you're real. Because you can actually pay for the verification. So I don't know if that's the same thing here on dating apps. You being all about the Benjamins. Shelton Benjamin, the wrestler? He's a great wrestler. I'm all about the Benjamins, if that's what you're talking about. But obviously they're talking about money. They can't spell give. Where is the E gone? Once again, where is the freaking schooling, it seems, in these screenshots? You are in search for the right one. I feel like you're in search of someone with the most money. Let's just put it bluntly, right? Not here to get to know you or small talk until I handle what I need to. Why are you on a dating app then? Why don't you just do what needs to be handled and then come on the dating app? My dad gave me whatever I wanted without question. Okay, so what are you looking for? A dad? Why doesn't your dad then just give you money? I'm confused here, okay? I just don't understand. I feel like some people, right? I saw this in the comment section, talking about, you know, spoiling your children. I feel like maybe this is a case where the father spoiled her and she just expects that from everyone else. Now, there's a good part of this in the sense that, you know, if you're spoiled and brought up with the fact or the notion that you shouldn't accept any less love than what you have learnt to accept. Does that make sense? Bloody hell. I don't know if that made sense, but, like, you know, if, you know, for example, my mum, she's treated me with love and whatnot, right? I should expect that amount of love from my partner in terms of, does it make sense? I don't really know if I think I'm speaking good here, but I hope that makes sense. But in terms of money, it's too much. Maybe you're brought up to expect too much. Maybe. So let me know your thoughts. And we're done here, because my mouth is hella dry. And I need water. Do I have water? I have water here. This is going to stay in the edit. So drink with me, please. Oh, it's so cold. That's why we're in here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. What? Some interesting characters. Some very disgusting pieces of shit who use homophobic language just because they got rejected, I guess. You got racists who disguise the racism as a preference thing. You will never pull the wool over my eyes, okay? And you got a bunch of gold diggers. You got some really just people who I think should seek therapy, right? In the way that they handle conversations. Because I don't think you should be in a relationship if you're so quick to start throwing around, for example, you know, calling people sleditors and stuff. Please seek professional support, okay? You got a bunch of children as well who speak in emojis. I'm done here. If you guys want to see more, you know, I'll gladly head back in there and freaking subject myself to all sorts of masochist behavior. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, but if anyone wants to pay me, though, then I'll take it.